Hey, welcome back everybody to the Talisetti Network, and today we're going to be looking at the Marathon Vidoc that just released. I was actually making a couple videos speculating what might be in this leaked Vidoc. However, as I was editing those videos, it came out. So I'm not upset about it. I'm actually really excited to see what we have in store. I have actually already seen it 3 times now, but I'm still going to pause and talk about things I want to. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I want to stop right here, like 3 seconds in, and I want to mention this right here is a new weapon we haven't seen before. I'm going to make a separate video on all the weapons, and what I think is pretty much, I think they've shown every single weapon that's going to be in the game. So I'm going to make a separate video on that. So this is the only time this video I'm going to mention a new weapon, all right?
Players want more challenge. The whole point of an extraction shooter is that you're challenged to even survive in this world.
So this right here is one thing I'm going to touch on. I'm going to pause a couple times, is just the added detail to everything. If you watched any of the gameplay from the open alpha, or not the open alpha, but the live streamed alpha, everything was very flat. There were a couple decals, but this kind of stuff right here, what I assume are like bullet holes or tears, these kind of prints, text, you'll see graffiti later too. They just weren't in the game, and we'll see later where they've made some additions to the graphics that just really bring it over the edge and not make it look so plasticky, fake. I don't really know what you would call it, but the environments just, they did not look good. They looked terrible, being honest. They looked horrible.
We heard loud and clear from the...
All right, pausing already. There's some of the graffiti right here. You'll see some more. I won't pause it on every single graffiti unless it's something valuable to talk about. The only thing I can mention is this looks like the Mida symbol right here, and he has like squiggles, like he's being silenced.
Alpha, the world didn't feel dangerous. The world didn't feel lived in.
Talisetti 4 to us is this place that really doesn't want you there, and that sort of survival narrative really fits really well with the kind of world that we're creating.
The world needs to feel like there is something sinister underneath.
So again, here's another one of the examples of graffiti. Like I said, I'm not going to pause every single time, but these are just interesting. If you want to see a longer video breakdown of what these might mean, I'll definitely work on making that. But this is the last time I'll mention it unless there's something immediately I have to say.
The surface, even when the colors are really bright.
You should not be here.
We want to marry the classic Bungie game feel, where you are blasting stuff in the face and it feels amazing, with the sort of high tension of the survival genre.
If you want good loot, you have to go to places where you're taking risks, either risks from other players or risks from AI.
So we have all...
I want to mention something about this right now. I know even back 7-8 months ago, when they first revealed Marathon's gameplay, they talked about these switching scopes, which I never saw in the alpha, so I don't know if just no one knew how to do it or those scopes just weren't in the game, but it's just a funny thing because I've yet to see actual players using this feature, which is just funny to me.
These tools now, Rook with Prox Chat and the way the game works and sort of how tense it is, I think all those things work together really well.
And I'll mention something about this with Prox Chat and with Rook. I have not been able to play the game, ever, actually. I have never played Marathon. And so for me, I can't really tell you, oh, you know, Rook is great, Rook is this, Prox Chat is this, Prox Chat is that. No one uses it. Oh, people use it all the time. But I think really most of that, it's going to be really irrelevant right now, because until the public really gets their hands on it, it's going to be very different. I remember with Arc Raiders, I got to play it during the open tech test, the server slam. And since people knew it was going to end and they had loot to use, everyone was super aggressive. I was getting into fights all the time. People did communicate, but it was more to just like yell at me when I downed them or say something stupid when they downed me. But then when the game actually came out, I barely fought anybody and talked to people a ton. So I don't really know. My thought is it's going to tend more towards PvP and sweaty. People will be less likely to communicate just because there's not as much of a reason to, but we'll just have to see.
You have another rook. Come on, stop that. No. Sorry.
The Marathon ship is essentially a ship that we sent out from Earth, an Earth that was overpopulated, to explore and colonize a star far away that we call Tau Ceti. In a lot of ways, it's like the tale of humanity trying to go out into the dark void of space, find a place to colonize, and failing terribly at it.
Everyone's gone, something catastrophic happened, and it's not just their absence that's important, it's the things that they left behind.
The modern race to Tau Ceti all started when a mysterious signal came through the galaxy.
The turmoil that sort of ensues gives rise to all these corporations that were invested in this Marathon project, now going, what happened? How do we recoup our investment?
And then layered on top of that is the greed. And
Paused at the wrong time. I would
how
have
do
mentioned
we
something
recoup our investment?
And then layered
the
on.
MIDA AI right here. So we know all 6 factions have some form of AI that is associated with them, and they have a visual look. I love MIDA's design. It's so cool. The way that it's like a graffiti tagged, where like we saw on that graffiti on the wall, where its mouth is like sprayed over like it's being silenced. It's such a cool design. Everything about it is that whole rebel zine style. I love it. It's so good. And I normally don't really care for rebel factions in games a lot, but MIDA really has me intrigued. I really like their design a lot.
On top of that is the greed and corruption of all of the different factions and corporations and revolutionary groups.
In our version of the world, we send people out not just to discover what happened, but also to collect from the things that remain there, and those people are runners.
As a runner,
I want to mention this, and I'll talk about some other stuff later. If we look at the ground loot right
From
here,
the thing.
this has changed from the alpha to where most things have this a lot higher fidelity and just better models for ground loot. I don't know if there's going to be more of a focus on ground loot just spawning around, or if it's still going to be most of the loot found in chest, but it still is a little added detail that they've kind of changed and improved upon to where things on the ground just look a lot better. I don't know about weapons, though. Weapons still might just stand upright like they did in the alpha. I really haven't seen anyone drop a weapon. Actually, there is one part, I think, so I'll pause there.
Things that remain there, and those people are runners.
As a runner, you're a biocybernetic mercenary who's traded their human body for a biosynthetic one.
You're not an unkillable god slayer. You are a
So this right here is one of the new runners. This was a runner that was being redesigned because his look was pretty bad, and I don't think he looked terrible. It was this green and blue kind of look, but he didn't look like a medic. But now he really gives off that medical vibe with these like green sterile, they're not gloves, but his arms are this green sterile color you would see on like latex gloves. And then you have the white and the red accents on him. I think he looks really good. Also, his little drone is just pretty cool. So I'm really excited to try him out when the game releases or when we get some kind of open beta.
mercenary, a disposable mercenary. You will live, you will die.
They are not people. You are the person. You go into that shell and adopt the personality matrix that is specifically designed to help you do the thing that you need to do.
So this is one thing I don't understand. They say you are the runner, and I hate to rag on about this because I know it's not going to change. There was a leak. I was going to make a video on it, but there was a leak saying that they're making different, essentially, characters for each shell, quote unquote, where each shell is like Void, Blackbird, Locust, Glitch, Ox, and Thief. And then it's like, oh, well, I play the, I don't know, they said they were going to have different voices. So I play the male Void with, male voice lines, or I play the female Aux, right, with her voice lines. But I have not seen anything like that. It might not be done yet, but I'm really not convinced that they're going that route. And it's just weird for them to say you take on the personality matrix. First of all, what does that even mean? I don't know what a personality matrix is. It makes me seem like your consciousness mixes with whatever the runner's preset personality is. It's strange. It's a strange wording. I just don't really know what all to say about this, but I don't like how that's worded at all. I do not like that one bit.
And you've been hired by these factions to come to Tau Ceti to scavenge it for anything that might be of value.
As a runner, you've left your body behind. You've traveled light years so that you can have access to the ultimate payday.
With extraction shooters, it is all about survival. There are other people who want the same things that you want, and it's up to you to best them.
But there's quiet periods where you're listening for the anticipation of something. Could there be another crew in the distance?
This is one of the things I really want them to release. They've had some small gameplay releases that are actually outside of this. They were not shown in the Vidoc, that they've released on Instagram. I don't know about Twitter. I stay off of Twitter. But Instagram, they have a couple gameplay videos that they posted. They're like short 30-minute things, but there's one of like a player interacting with Rook. They're pretty cool. I really hope Bungie will just show people how the game plays and just post a full match with like no commentary, nothing, so we can really hear the sounds, the audio. That's the same thing. The environment, and really all they've changed, because the rain here sounds really good. The thunder in the distance when they're on the new map Outpost, it sounds really, really good. Now, I don't know about gunshots. I know gunshot audio was a problem in the alpha. Hopefully they've fixed the directional sound and the weirdness of gunshots and footsteps, but we'll see. But right now, I really like the audio profile of the whole game. It sounds really good, but it would be nice to really hear some gameplay without these people yapping over it, which, no offense to them. The whole point of the Vidoc is to yap about the game, which I appreciate, but I do want some like non-commentary gameplay to really just dig into how the game sounds. Like, just close my eyes and just hear Marathon. I want to hear the essence of the game in my freaking ear holes. Anyway.
Did I just hear a gunshot? Did I hear AI just alert? Oh shit.
I'll make a video on the characters and their abilities, because Aux does have this little Aux drone. I don't know what it does, but I will make a video about all of the characters, explaining what they do.
And then there's the loud, bombastic action moments where the minute something is alerted, the minute you're in that fight, now it's go time. Players particularly pose a lot of danger to you. They can make a lot of decisions that you might find illogical and completely trick you into scenarios.
Mention one thing real quick. That Claymore is not what they looked like in the alpha. They are way harder to see now. Before, there was like this big bright yellow. It's like a flashlight attached to the Claymore. Like, you could see it way easier. So that's an interesting thing. Some people are probably gonna be like, oh yeah, cool, that was dumb. Other people are gonna be like, great, I hate Claymores. So we'll see how that plays out.
Sometimes the best loot box is another player that you see along the run. So there's a few different ways you can play the game. So one of them is you can play in crew, both with your friends and also through crew fill.
Again, I'll make a video about the weapons and everything, because I've done research. I know what every single one of these weapons are. This right here is the Mida multi-tool. It's right here. It's in the game. You'll be able to use it. I did already see it in like that Chinese leaked gameplay, but now we have official confirmation. Mida multi-tool. Nice.
which will just match you with 2 other players. You can play solo, and you'll jump into a game with a bunch of other solo players.
In solo, I think the stakes are a bit higher, right? You have only yourself to rely on.
You still have prox chat, so you can call out to other solos, but you are playing a tense alliance game where it's really up to them whether or not they decide to honor or respect that alliance you might have created.
So this is one thing I'll mention, and I'll stop and mention it a couple other times when there's more evidence. The TTK looks like it's really lowered, and I think one thing about our creators where people are a little more hesitant to betray each other is that the TTK is a bit longer, so if you miss a couple shots, people can slip away, heal, and then you're on a one-on-one gunfight. But in Marathon, like, if I can just one-tap a dude with a shotgun in the back of the head while he's looting, yeah, I'm probably going to either be betraying people or just shooting on sight too, especially if you have the jump on someone. It seems like now, if you have the jump on someone in Marathon, you dump 10 rounds of an SMG into someone, they're dead. And that really doesn't give them a lot of time to react. So for you, it's kind of risk-free ambushing, especially in solo. So that does worry me for how...
One of the things we've really focused on is making sure the environments are selling the tone we want to hit with the game.
We've brought a little bit of groundedness, a little bit of grit, a little bit of darkness, a little bit of that mood that kind of is necessary for an extraction shooter to feel dangerous.
Our biggest goal has always been player immersion.
We're trying to keep everything as believable and realistic as possible.
So we cranked up all the material responses, feel accurate, feel realistic. You'll get gloss, you'll get crud and mud. And no one of those things is all that sexy, but when you layer in, just...
That stuff looks so good. They did such a good job with this. It really brings out the game and makes it not look like garbage. It really puts that polish and that finishing touch on it to where I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a finished game. Like, this is something shippable. Not like, damn, like, this ain't even good for 2008.
A little bit more, responsive to light, a little bit more responsive to the player. Things will part, water will pool. Layer in all these different things, the world becomes much more alive. It feels like a real place. And then when you're feeling like a real place and you feel in danger, now your run matters.
I look back at some of the alpha shots, and it's kind of hard to tell when it's sunny or when it's rainy. Weather feels like weather now.
Honestly surprised they left him saying that in, to be honest. But it is true. I do want to point out, too, that it does make the game look nicer, but I don't even... See, it's hard to remember if I said this in a video I published or I said this in a video that never got finished, but earlier in the year I said I want them to make the environment more realistic. Well, because it looks better, but also because with it being so realistic, it juxtaposes or counters the bright, blocky, plasticky shape that all the buildings, runners, UESC troops have, and it makes humanity feel alien to this planet rather than part of it. And I know that's not really a theme of Marathon. It never really has been, this theme of like colonization, which honestly I think its theme is much more interesting than just humans bad James Cameron Avatar theme. But I still like that it's juxtaposing that, hey, these things aren't supposed to be here. Now, I mean, you could argue that, you go look at an American suburb and you're like, yeah, that looks out of place, just juxtaposed with nature already. But I think it's just even more apparent here with the very loud, like, colors they use, things that you don't see a lot of in nature. And I think that's really something interesting, and I think that really adds to the uniqueness of the art style and just of the art direction in Marathon.
Now, but like when it's sunny, you get this really nice like bleaching effect. It feels bright. It feels like warm when it's sunny now.
Like, this one's such a good juxtaposition because you have the just brown, dark earth and rock, from like dirt and clay, and then you just have this just eye-bleeding bright orange, where if you had no context to this and you're just walking around and you just saw, oh, look at this nice pretty nature, rocks and everything, and you just saw this giant bright orange structure, you would straight up be like, what the hell is that? Like, what even is that looks so alien, so out of place? And yeah, it does, and it's great. I love it.
I feel like we're just celebrating that color so much more. I think it just contributes to the whole effect.
So we have dead bodies in the game now. We also have like decay on the runners themselves. Like you'll actually see them fall apart. We're actually dropping the body stays there, and the body slowly decays over time as you loot it.
So you come into a room and you see a bunch of carnage, but you see one body is still pristine, you know that their killer is probably close, and you are not safe. If everybody is just a messy goop, you're probably okay.
And that's something I really like. The decaying bodies, I have not seen in any other extraction shooter, where the more decayed they are, it's like, oh, they got killed like 15 minutes ago. Whoever killed them is probably gone. Or there's someone that you're like, oh, he just got shot like 30 seconds ago. It's really interesting. I hope, too, that you just loot the bodies and they got rid of the stupid duffel bags. I didn't mind the effect of you like turning all like digital, but honestly, doesn't make much sense because like, yeah, your consciousness gets pulled out of the biomata, but the biomata is like, it's still there. So I like this much better, and I really hope you just loot the bodies and not duffel bags. I know the UESC, they still drop the little containers, but I know the containers that they drop are actually like the core part of them. When I see it, I'll pause and show you, but they're like core, their body that you loot. So hopefully, duffel bags gone.
Audio is a huge gameplay component in Marathon. Every sound plays a function.
I love this right here. It just reminds me, bar the water, it reminds me of Sullust from Battlefront 1, which I love Battlefront 2, but Battlefront 1 just has such a special place in my heart. And I just love that like dark basalt look. I don't know. I don't know which map this is. I think it's Perimeter. I think it's Perimeter, and they either change like one side of it be all burnt because of the trees. But I don't know. I love this. It looks so good.
Footsteps tell players everything. It is telling you what is the type of threat that's around you. Where are they at? Are they above you? Are they far away? Are they close by? So if I'm in bioresearch and I hear a particular material type, I know, hey, they're on the second floor and they're in this room. Our hero is the world. So we're constantly trying to figure out where can music help reinforce what is the vibe and intent of this place.
There was the discussion about the interaction between score and sound design. And I wanted to create
this dude. He either has the coolest glasses known to man or the dumbest glasses known to man, just depending on who you are. I ain't gonna lie, they look kind of goofy, but at the same time, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of want a pair. I'm not even lying. I kind of want to rock these.
A score that wasn't just like full of instruments you've heard before. The job was, how can I make what I'm seeing, this race to survival, even more nervous and even more terrifying or even more thrilling?
We have 4 zones, and each one of those zones has its own sort of approach to kind of level design and what it asks players to kind of think about and do. You're going to start with Perimeter. You're kind of on the outskirts of the colony. It's a little more spread out. You got a little bit more areas to be safe and to sneak around, but it's also a little more straightforward.
It really brings this sense of scale. It sits like in our fantasy as expansion site for the colony on the very edges of where they had settled on Tau Ceti. UESC are also there trying to understand what has happened and secure the area.
Death is a part of Marathon. It happens a lot, even on Perimeter, which we talk about as a more friendly zone to new runners. You are still gonna die a lot.
Attention, unauthorized runner. You are trespassing in a military security zone.
So I want to mention this too. They have already announced that, now forgive me for forgetting his name, but the voice actor for Arthur Morgan is actually in the voice cast for Marathon under General Davik Reed. And I think this is him right here. But it's hard to tell just because he's a really good voice actor. So he can change his voice pretty well. So it's hard to tell. Also, shout out to Void having the voice actor for Jensen from Deus Ex. And of course, Blackbird has Nika Futterman, who's Asajj Ventress. Bro, they're winning on the voice actors. They're fucking eating good.
It was really important to us that the UESC were not trivial to fight.
When you face them on Tau Ceti as a runner, you are the outlaw. You are trespassing.
They have a little bit of this haunted tone. So you can see they have this floating locomotion, they get these sparks, they have these sigils over their faces. Sometimes their behavior feels almost like they're possessed a little bit, like are they taking in commands from a remote AI? The elite tier is sort of like this dark blue. The mini boss tier is more like a lilac. The boss tier is just gonna be dipped in red.
I do like this because watching alpha gameplay footage, it was really hard to tell who the boss enemies were. You could see like the slight shimmer of like purple because all the bosses have the highest tier purple shield. But it was just really hard to tell. So them just being red, where you know, oh, this is a mini boss because he's like this whitish teal. It's so much better. So you actually can engage and not peek a corner and be like, oh, look, a UESC Grenadier, and then lay a mag into him and be like, oh, that's a boss. I'm about to die. It's just really nice. It's just basic game design, and I'm really glad they changed that.
They have these tendrils that latch out and leech onto you and start sucking away at your consciousness.
This is basically the thing you loot. Though when they drop it on the ground, for some reason it's dark blue instead of white, but I'm pretty sure they use the exact same model. So that's why I don't really care about them having little loot boxes, because you're technically looting them. So I just don't like the duffel bags.
You're getting into Marsh, you're starting to understand something bad happened here, and you're seeing signs of that in a way that wasn't apparent on Perimeter.
On Dire Marsh, we've got the anomaly, and it's this strange alien entity that has erupted up out of the ground.
Like I said, I'm not going to do a full lore breakdown this video. This video is already going to turn into a yap fest. This is not live stream, by the way. I'm just recording all this, but it's going to feel like a live stream because I'm yapping for probably like 50 minutes. I know the video is at like 35 right now. So, but right here, she says an alien entity erupting. I wish she didn't say this because I feel like this is either revealing too much or misleading people because she's wrong. I really don't know, because if like this just reveals immediately there's a working character under Tau Ceti 4, like bruh, it's just bruh, why would you reveal that right now? Like, I'm just gonna chalk it up. She doesn't know what she's talking about, so we just don't ruin it for ourselves. Like, what is that? If you don't know what a working character is, perfect. Don't worry about it.
You're really feeling signs that this is more of an epicenter of where things went wrong on this colony.
It's got a different style of gameplay. It's more like a central complex that is rich with overlapping areas and regions that you can find yourself kind of bleeding from one encounter to another.
This is another clip right here. This right here is the double tap. Two tap? I can't remember what it's called.
And regions that...
But you can see right here they have a purple shield.
You can find yourself...
And it gets broken in about 4 shots from it.
Kind of bleeding from one.
And this person has a blue shield and it gets dropped in 3. That's so much faster than the alpha. I think in the alpha, purple shield from the double tap, it was 6 or 7... 6 or like 8 shots, I think. So it's a big reduction in TTK. It's almost halved, which I actually like that. I like faster TTK games, but I know other people might not really like that as much, but we'll really just have to see. And of course, it depends on the weapon. It's probably going to make the snipers and the shotguns even stronger than they were in the alpha, but again, we'll have to see.
Counter to another.
It's a great map to go in when you just want some action, and you're gonna need somewhere to farm.
Each map has different weather systems.
So this thing right here was really tripping me up when I was trying to find out what guns were what. I sat here thinking this was another LMG. It's not. It's not. This is the normal LMG that you saw in the alpha. It just has this little shield. I think this is just a mod for the LMGs. I haven't seen this shield on any other weapon type, but I've seen it on, there's 3 LMGs in the game that supposedly there's 3. I've seen 2 different ones that I know are different, and I've seen them both with a shield. So this is a mod, not a new weapon you're seeing. It's just an attachment for the LMG. 95% sure.
Gonna need somewhere to farm.
Each map has different weather systems. It has different dynamic events that can happen, and your approach to them is never going to be consistent.
One of the needs that the design team thought that we should have is more challenging PvE activities.
Each of our zones has these bigger events that don't happen every second.
That looks way cooler. The incursion looks so much cooler. It already looked cool, but with the red lights underneath, man.
But when they do happen, you'll know they're happening.
Like, this just looks so much better.
Building these types of events into the world shake up your run and make you decide, like, what do you want to risk?
Then you get to Outpost. And Outpost is a more functional, thriving UESC facility. There's scan drones flying overhead, the UESC's everywhere, there's tripwires, there's a weather hazards. It's a lot of stuff you're up against from the get-go.
Outpost is a smaller map, but it's also a lot more vertical. It's built around a specific building that we call the pinwheel.
This is just this meat grinder of a structure that's like a corkscrewed building that has nooks and crannies and hallways, and it just becomes a real, real cluster when you're in there fighting.
The floor is raised on Outpost and nothing is free. The pinwheel hosts some of the best loot opportunities.
So this is the first time we're seeing Thief's ability where she can X-ray loot through walls. And we actually did see earlier, she shot a player with the pump action shotgun, and she used her grappling hook. The only thing we have not seen from her yet is her little thief drone or thief skill where she steals the highest value item from a player. I don't know if that's still in the game, but we've yet to see it, so I don't know how it works.
But it's noisy, players are going to know you're doing it, so there's extra risks.
The character you're going to spend the most time with is the zones. Understanding each personality of every zone. That's the storytelling every player gets.
I really hope that when they say that stuff, there's lots of like little secret areas, little nooks and crannies to explore that reward you for finding them. Environmental storytelling. I really hope that's what they mean by that, because it does add a lot of character to the map when you can find like these just little areas, even if it's one that you camp in for 15 minutes just to get a kill. It's those kind of things that are just really, really cool. And people love that in Tarkov. There's plenty of little things and areas to go to and go in between that just really kind of spices up raids and gameplay.
Time you're on the planet, you can look up and see the ship floating and looming in the skybox, reminding you of why this place even exists, but also reminding you that something up happened here, and you got to figure out what it was.
Marathon has a lot of loot in it. It's a huge pie. There's a ton of different implants at every rarity. There's a ton of different runner cores for each runner. There's over 400 weapon mods. Like, it's just an outlandish number of items to collect.
I can tell you this is the thing that most excites me for Marathon, other than the fact that I've been wanting a sci-fi extraction shooter for so long. And we had the cycle for a while, but the cycle had its own problems and failed. And honestly, at this point, I don't think it's ever going to come back. So this really fills the void of that sci-fi extraction shooter, but also the build crafting through the weapons and the cores is something I'm really interested in. I can see myself, once this game comes out, getting loadout suggestions from people and actually building those and seeing how they come like into the game. Especially if there's things that'll like boost fire rate and just do some really funky stuff. Because I would love to just be able to take, we're going to use the little CE pistol and go in with a 40 round mag and just be stupid. I cannot wait for that kind of stuff.
There's going to be a really interesting period of discoverability where players sort of figure out, what are the pieces that I have available to me? How do I get them? And how do I put them together into something that's awesome?
I also want to say, I've seen a lot of people say, just in general about this game, but especially the guns look like Roblox. They look like Lego. Alright, the Roblox, I don't understand as much. The Lego, I get it, but honestly, most people that are saying they look like Roblox, they look like Lego, are just saying it a rage bait. So I just really don't care. To me, the guns look really cool. There's a couple that look just kind of dumb, a little bit, but for the most part, they look really, really cool.
You can go through and look at how many iconic weapons have come from Bungie, and it's something.
When he says this, I know he's talking about, like, essentially the legacy of weapons, not, these weapons come from Bungie. Like, guys, there's going to be Hawkmoon in Marathon, or, there's going to be Kvostov in Marathon. There's not. The only gun from Destiny in this game is the Might Multi-Tool. But I think what he means by that is you have the Magnum, which is inspired by the Magnum from Halo. You have the pulse rifles. The double tap is inspired off the 2-round burst pulse rifles from Destiny. You have a 3-round burst. There's different RPM auto rifles. I think that's what they mean. They kind of just brought the archetypes from Destiny over and like took each archetype and kind of put it into its own weapon. I think that's what he means by that, because I have not seen any evidence of any carryover weapons other than the Might Multi-Tool, which, of course, in the description of the Might Multi-Tool, you find out it is from the Marathon universe. It's just some weird wormhole glitch in reality kind of thing. I don't know.
That we really want to hold up and make sure that we're matching that legacy.
Visually, they're all really, really distinct and clearly Marathon, but we wanted animation-wise a majority of them to feel recognizable. So when you put them in your hands, you knew how to use them.
I will say that for the most part, the guns look fairly recognizable in the fact that, it has a long-range scope on it. It's probably a sniper rifle. It has a red dot. It's an AR, or, it's kind of small. Maybe it's an SMG. But honestly, I've looked at the gun design. There's a lot of just random things added on the guns. I know the first assault rifle that you get, the Overrun AR, it's a bullpup. But it has this like weird block. It looks like a freaking battery on the front of the gun. What is it there for? Is it a built-in grip? If it is, I don't know why I have a CD drive attached to the front of my gun for ergonomics. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And the M77, I originally, in my Guns of Marathon video, thought it was like a space AK. No, it's another bullpup, but it just has these weird little feet that pinch together. What do they do? I don't know. I assume they don't do anything. So there's a couple guns that just have weird stuff on them like that, and it's just kind of strange, and I wish they would remove some of those things, but for the most part, I do think the guns are pretty good enough that you look at them and you're like, okay, yeah, that's like a precision rifle. That's an AR.
This will basically allow you to increase certain stats on the guns, that battery SMG. The gold mod, full-blown, turns it into the needlet.
These are going to be interesting, these gold mods, for like challenge videos or loadout videos. Like, I feel like this Needler, obviously, because it has that super combine capability, is going to be really good with fire rate mods. But if it takes like 100 hours of gameplay to get one of these, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm going to make a video about this, I go in and get one tap to buy a sniper or a shotgun that's sitting in a corner, I want to be like, well, there goes 100 hours. I guess I can't make a video on this. I know eventually you can buy gold mods and cores from vendors, but I really do wonder how rare these are, and I hope they state at some point like, oh, you can expect to find a gold mod every 8 hours, 10 hours, something like that.
The sidearm is a gun that is effective in close quarters, but maybe not too much outside of that. But the gold mod on this gun puts a suppressor on it, and then when I kill something with this gun, I turn invisible.
This one, I'm not gonna lie, we only know of like 3 gold mods. The other one they said was one for the Magnum that adds a scope on it that basically makes it the Halo 1 Magnum. This is pretty lame. Like, there's a suppressor, and then when you get a kill, he says get a kill, but it seems like it's more when you reload. And I don't know, it seems kind of lame. Like, for a little pistol, like, bro, let me put a switch on it. Like, I don't know if it's just because these people are from, where's Bungie from? I don't know, but clearly ain't from Atlanta. If Bungie was from Atlanta, they put a switch on everything. Like, that's what I'm saying. Give me a drum mag and a switch on this thing. Oh, bro, we're clearing out Dire Marsh. Don't even start with me. I'll start drive-bying people. Like,
And then that lends it to other build crafting if I want to sort of stack into how invisible can I be.
This also brings into the question of, are suppressors going to be available to mod? And I don't think they are. I think they're going more towards the suppressors not being a thing, and it's more, you have to be very careful about when you shoot. So if you decide to engage with somebody, you know, oh, I just rang, you know, possibly the dinner bell for other players, and a lot of times UESC are going to come and investigate. So I think they're definitely going into the no suppressors route, where the only guns that can get suppressors are ones that like have gold mods like this, which this might be the only gun that has it. And if so, I'm honestly fine with that. It doesn't really bother me too much. Honestly, like, bring them on. Well, let's clear all lobby. I don't care if I ring the dinner bell.
Even some weapon mods can improve stats and your runner shell's capabilities. So there's lots of different ways to raise the floor of your stats so that you're coming into each run strong.
I don't know exactly what this means. I assume that there might be a weapon mod that also like gives you more heat capacity, which is your stamina, or raises like your ability recharge. That makes sense to as what he's saying, but it doesn't make sense from a gameplay perspective. But I guess if they're going to go that route and you can equip weapon attachments to improve your runner, then, I mean, so be it.
Runner shells are a bioprinted body that you inhabit when you go down to Tau Ceti to scavenge the ruins of the Lost Colony. Each of our launch shells is really an archetype of gameplay. So if you want to play like a frontline tank, if you want to play a rat character that wants to sneak around, if you want to find those rats, we have a shell for you.
Let's talk about this gun right here. It just four bursted a player with purple shields. He did hit headshots, but that seems way faster than what it was before, but also not lightning fast. So it's really going to depend on the players and just what we get to use. So we'll have to determine how fast the TTK really is, but honestly, it looks like it's in a good spot.
The idea there is like have a broad spectrum that everyone can kind of find a little bit of a home to, and then we're going to build on top of that.
Cores and implants mold the kit into a playstyle that you want.
So here's one thing. It seems they've gone all out and eliminated the runners' names. Locust is now Destroyer. I'm not going to try and remember all the others, but they have like their pre-production name, like Destroyer, and then Void being Stealth, Glitch being Disruptor. But they still have the same voices and same look. Like I said, I don't know if they're going to let you actually change like the gender of your character and like other things about them, like a certain leak stated. But as far as it looks right now, they're still keeping with the whole heroes thing. They're just not named. So, but honestly, I'm really not mad about it, to be honest. Now that I've seen more of the game, it's just such a non-issue to me.
So examples of those.
Though I don't blame you if it still is. Like that's one of the things where I can understand the complaint on, but I just don't understand the game's DOA. It's a hero shooter. We're all tired of hero shooters. I don't really like hero shooters too much, but I can't argue that they're still popular. I mean, that's just kind of how it is. I can't argue with that.
They're like, on Thief, I get a second grapple. On Destroyer, I pull out my Riot Barricade, and as it takes damage, it's actually converting that damage into shield back to me.
And these can be used in combination with each other to shift the gameplay style of your runner kit.
At any point you feel like you don't want to risk anything, or maybe you're down on your luck and you want the opportunity to get back, Rook's your guy.
Rook is a prototype runner shell.
It's a mode where we make it easy for you to just kind of drop into a match that's in progress and run about and try to scavenge as much as possible.
You are going in solo to a run that's already in progress.
So this is clearly modeled after scav runs in Tarkov. They don't mention if it's going to have a timer. They do mention it's solo only, and they come in halfway through the raid. I assume it's like a sponsor kit. Here we see him with the tactical sidearm. I don't know if you get a primary or it's just always going to give you like one of the worst weapons, which is the sidearm and like a white shield. But either way, it seems like it's a nice in between for those that are like, I don't really want to go in with a sponsor kit. I kind of just want to go in and like screw around as Rook. I think that's really nice. And as we can see in the vendor screen, they'll show sponsor kits still are a very big thing, and there's actually multiple ones now.
You don't have a team, you have a very limited loadout, but you're not risking anything. This lets you kind of get in, grab a little bit of loot, and then...
I will mention this too, that sponsor kits do actually cost money. Now, they do have considerable value, as purchasing the things outside of the sponsor kit are more expensive, but it still does cost money. Until you have nothing. Like once you have $0, then it starts being free. So it seems like if you're like, I still don't want to risk 300, I can go in as Rook. My assumption is though, is that Rook doesn't let you do contracts. So he's just for trying to do a scav run, just like how scavs can't do PMC quest.
Bail. So when you get like a really powerful gun or implant or core, it is unlocking some new space or new challenge that you've never done before, and the loot is helping you reach greater heights.
Faction agents are such a big vehicle for tone and narrative for the world. Each faction...
Shout out New Caloric. The best faction, 100%.
has their own motivations, their own desires, the things they're going to ask you to do.
We've got Traxxas. They're the most powerful corporation in human history. They have very long arms and very deep pockets to kind of get what they want.
So they might ask you to go and find specific weapons or mods.
Congratulations, runner. Your last performance evaluation was rated on track.
If you're a PvP player, one of the factions is called Arachne. They're essentially a death cult. What that
I like New Caloric. I like it. I like the pink. I like the whole food theme. You know, we make modified food, like maybe poison people. I like that. Don't take that out of context. But Arachne's pretty cool. They're pretty cool, I ain't gonna lie.
translates to is that they're asking you to go and kill other runners.
The sacred thermodynamics of violence.
MIDA is all about destruction. They are going to give you grenades, they're going to give you claymores, they're going to let you blow the place up.
And they are irreverent and dangerous. They might ask you to upload this malware into a UESC dropship, and as it leaves, it explodes and careens off into the distance.
We have big plans. Explosive, visionary.
Each of our factions has an upgrade tree that you unlock progressively as you gain reputation with them.
And along the way, you're going to unlock these capstones that are these special upgrades. When you unlock that final capstone, you're gaining access to the best stuff in the market. You're getting gold items.
In addition, these faction upgrades can increase your runner's base stats, and those base stat upgrades are permanent for the rest of the season.
Yeah, so what this all means, and we don't know when these seasons are going to end, but it looks like they are going through with a wipe system, where at the end of said season, the quests are reset, just like Tarkov, all your upgrades are reset, your stash is reset, but all your accolades, I guess in this game it's called codex entries, all your codex stuff, all of your actual like cosmetic items, your awards, they're all saved, but everything that's loot related, money, vendors, that's all reset. And we don't know if there's going to be some prestige or way to manually reset or some way to opt out of the season reset. We really don't know, and they haven't revealed anything, but I get the feeling there's going to be a post probably January, February telling us about that.
Access denied.
Darius, you know me. Did you miss your last round of maintenance?
So we know that there are AI that were on the actual colony at Tau Ceti, even from the first game, because there were the 3 that were on the Marathon, but there were more that were on the colony. It seems like this one, Darius, is one of those, but we'll see right here what happens.
Don't touch. Don't tick. Don't question.
Darius?
Access denied. Access
Hey, it's
denied.
okay. It's just me.
You're not alone.
That voice right there, we know for 100% because that is the voice of Ben Starr, who voice acts Durandal. So we know that right there, this Darius AI is either interrupted by Durandal, taken over, or shut offline. In some way, Durandal is the one now talking.
The Codex is a suite of achievements, collectibles, audio logs, things that you're finding in Run that we're going to track for you over time. The more you find these items, the more story you're unlocking about them and what their role is in the world, why they're here, who cared about them, why they're as valuable.
This is very interesting because he shows these things like these are these like little collectibles you'll find in Raid. And it seems more like, oh, I find this burger or this specimen. I assume this is a specimen of the anomaly. And once you collect that, you don't collect it ever again. But once you collect it, it unlocks like a lore entry where you can read a little bit either about the item or it just unlocks like this little tidbit, maybe like an email message or some like statement from a colonist or just some kind of information to help you piece together what's going on.
The more you find these items, the more story you're unlocking about them and what their role is in the world, why they're here, who cared about them, why they're as valuable as they are.
I'm repeating myself with these entries, but any fears inherent in the scope of this endeavor seem unfounded.
I believe the person speaking here is Dr. Bernard Strauss. He's a doctor in the first Marathon game that works on the AI, works closely with Durandal, and is actually part of MITA. He's one that is theorized to push Durandal into rampancy. I don't know 100% if this is him. This is not a confirmation, but this is, I feel like, the only thing that makes sense.
Within the Codex, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can unlock. Runner skins.
So this is the only time we see a runner skin, and the only time it's mentioned, and it's just one like little recolor for Blackbird. So I don't know if we're ever going to see model swaps, but I think at the beginning it's more just going to be colors.
Weapon skins, weapon charms, stickers.
The other thing that is not revealed is whether these weapon skins are going to be like shaders from Destiny, or you're going to have a specific skin for a specific weapon. There was a leak that said the pre-order bonus for Marathon is like a pink pistol skin. But again, that's just a random leak, and I really don't believe that at all. So we're really just going to have to see closer to launch how they're going to do skins.
Emblems, backgrounds for your profile, and titles.
So it's everything from your first steps on the world of Tau City 4 all the way through to becoming a vid master and taking on the most extreme challenges.
The Marathon ship is the hardest place to survive in this game. And if you're not ready to take your best stuff, well, you're not going to survive. It's like a heist for a runner. Cryo Archive is big in and of itself, but it's also cold. It's also hostile.
It's going to test every aspect of the survival game. Probably going to be forced to run to players in ways you haven't been on other maps. You're going to run into basically every type of environmental threat you have faced before. You're going to fight a who's who of the highest tier UESC units, and the UESC are there in this presence you haven't seen before.
It's really cool because each of the vaults is more successively challenging than the next. And that 7th vault is where you both are going to get the coolest thing, but also where you're going to learn the most about what happened to this place.
So my assumption with this is you're going to learn the most, but you're not going to learn everything. And there's going to be seasonal stories that reveal more and more and more. But it seems like if you want to know about the story, the first thing you're going to be trying to do is, one, collect all those little collectibles, and also get into the vault on the Marathon ship to figure out part of what's going on. He also mentioned that as you go deeper, it gets more challenging. I don't know exactly how the layout of Cryo Archive is. I haven't played it, and even if I did, I wouldn't say. But it seems like multiple teams are going to spawn into Cryo Archive near one side. And you're all going to show up on that one side, and then you're going to get funneled. And it seems like if you kill the teams all there early, and you're just the one team left, you can kind of proceed through Cryo Archive alone without the threat of other players. So it seems like right at the beginning, there might be more PvP, like, hey, let's wipe out these other teams, and then we can just focus on AI without worrying about getting shot in the back. I don't know how, if that is the case, but that seems like what they're more leaning towards. Like, there are going to be other players, because you see them fighting players in the Vidoc. But it's going to be more, we're at the beginning, we're kind of competing to get to Cryo Archive, and we have to fight our way through. I would love to see, a whole lobby, work together to get to the end. It's probably not going to happen, but you never know.
At some point in your journey in Cryo Archive, you might start wondering if the UAC are there to keep you out, or if they're actually there to keep something else in.
See, keep something else in, you're going to start to wonder if the UESC are there to keep you out or they're keeping something else in. Like, bro, when you say something like that, yeah, it clearly they're keeping something in because you felt the need to say that. Like, I don't know why they're saying this stuff. There either has to be more going on or these people just love giving away just juicy story bits. I don't know if this is a tactic to get people more interested in the game or what, but I'm not even lying. It low-key, it's just pissing me off. So this right here is a Sfit compiler. It looks so good. It looks so good, and it's clearly different from the style of the UESC because it's sleek metal. It doesn't look like Roblox. So this is really something cool to see. I hope we get to see 4. I really do, because I want to see 4. I want to fight them. That's going to be awesome. But we'll have to see. But this Sfit compiler is going to be really cool. And I do wonder if they're going to be enemies or not. My assumption is they will.
Nice.
I think the thing that I'm most excited about for Marathon is getting into the hands of our players.
The biggest thing I want people to take away from Marathon is...
I want to say something about that. Like, this isn't an all hell Bungie or man screw Bungie like video. I'm really in the middle with it. Like, I like Bungie, I like Marathon, but they say now, of course, she's not the head of Bungie. I'm not saying this lady is like at fault for anything. That's not what I'm saying. But it's just, I would love to get it in the hands of players too. As someone that has never played the game, I want to play it. Bungie, let me play it. Please let me play it. Please. And I know they posted out something that said, you know, the public will get to try Marathon on a beta weekend before launch. I don't know if that means the weekend before launch. At some point, there will be a beta weekend, but to me, that's not enough. I think because support for Bungie is kind of eroded a bit, I think this Vidoc is really good. I want to say overall, this Vidoc is great. It's so informative. The changes they made are great. The game looks so good. It looks so good. I was already on Marathon. Like, I would have bought it before with it looking like crap. But now, I'm so on board the Marathon train. But I think they honestly should go and try and do... No, it doesn't have to be a full open test, but at least something that just lets, I don't know, 100, 200,000 players in to, one, minorly stress test Bungie servers, and two, just get eyes on the game. People won't, that even aren't watching streamers will still be like, hey man, bro, I got into the Marathon tech test or whatever. You want to hop in Discord and check it out with me? And they'll be like, yeah, sure, dude. And it'll get more eyes on the game. And then after that, then you can do a stress test and let a lot of people in. And then people will be like, oh, damn, this game's really fun. Yeah, I'll buy it for $40. And I think they definitely should do that. They already said that the game is going to be $40. Like, that's confirmed. I would recommend you get more eyes on the game, get more people hyped for it, but then you're like, before you go, hey, it's $40, but we also have this premium edition for $70. Like, before y'all start big talking about money, running ads and stuff, please just let people play the game before you start asking for money. It's just common sense at this point. Just do what Arc Raiders did. Just copy Arc Raiders. Fuck it. Copy Arc Raiders at this point. Just copy them. Copy them. Don't copy the gameplay, but their marketing strategy and everything Embark did. Just copy Embark. Shamelessly copy them. Just copy them. Just copy them. I don't know how many times I can say it. Copy Embark.
That it still feels amazing. It still feels like it has that spark.
It takes all the aspects that I think Bungie is really good at. First person.
Yeah, that was a purple shield dude just absolutely getting melted by the little locust micro missiles and an LMG. Just straight melted. So we'll see if the TTK, it might be something like Arc Raiders where it really does get to the point where it's like, oh, we've metagamed enough to figure out the heavy shield's just not worth it. Just don't even take purples. Just take them and sell them. We'll see if it's at that point. And I do want to say, I hate When I talk about arc raiders, I'm not comparing Marathon and arc raiders because, in my opinion, Marathon and arc raiders can't be compared like Marathon and Tarkov can't be compared, and Tarkov and Hunt Showdown. It's difficult to compare them because they're extraction shooters, but other than that, all 4 of those games are so vastly different.
And feel and gunplay, the super deep, crazy sci-fi lore, and it mixes up all those things together in a really amazing PvP package.
I think Marathon really does have potential to have, well, it already has very deep lore, and I think there's potential to greatly expand on it, but they can fumble the story aspect of it so hard, and honestly, if they do, it's going to be okay, because most players just want to, you know, man, you know me, I'm blue collar, I just want to go home, you know, have my wife cook me a nice dinner, and you know, go play Marathon for about 3 hours. To be honest, I don't think anyone like that's playing Marathon. They're probably playing Farming Simulator 2023. Okay, I can say that in front of South, all right? But I think if they kill the story part of it, people that aren't interested in the story are going to start being interested. And people that were already lore nerds, they're just going to love it even more.
Really comes down to every single discipline that's working on the.
I'm looking at you, Jake. All right. I hope they kill the lore for you, man, because I'm so ready for those deep dive lore videos. Because I could never do it like him. I love watching those things.
The animation has to be good. The sound has to be good. Everything has to be working in harmony.
That's when the controller fades away, the screen fades away. You're just immersed in the world.
That is what we're trying to live up to with Marathon.
It is a mad dash. I'm not going to front about that. It's a mad dash to the finish, but that's when you got to put in the elbow grease and the extra sweat and blood it takes to get this done.
Dude, what is this? What is it? Let's go. 5 people in the extract.
So, my overall thoughts, it looks really good. I'm excited for it. If they put up pre-orders right now, I would not pre-order it. I wouldn't pre-order it. I want to get my hands on the game. I really do, because I have never played it at all, and I would recommend everyone else. Get your hands on it first. Wait till they give us access, and just don't pre-order, because people really deserve to play this game. It's gotten so much hate. It's been shit on so much, and I think there's a lot of people that are kind of middle of the road. They're like, I hear people say it's bad, but I don't know. I want to make my own opinions. So Bungie, let people make their own opinions. Let people play. Sometime next year, do a larger test, get people's eyes on it, and then later do a completely open test to stress test the servers. It's the right thing to do. It's going to make people like you. You need that. People don't like you. No one likes you, Bungie. So, but overall, the game looks really good. It looks really fun. I think it's unique enough that Arc Raiders is not going to really compete with it. It's built for, I think the games are built for 2 different types of people. I think Arc Raiders and Marathon are both going to be casual friendly, but Arc Raiders is going to be the more friendly, I play 2 Fort on TF2 and am friendly kind of players, while Marathon is going to be casual, but it's still going to be sweaty. Probably in the same regard as something like Call of Duty or Warzone. But anyway, that's going to be it. I'm going to be putting up a new video soon about the weapons, and I also might start streaming. I don't know exactly what the stream schedule is going to be. Maybe sometime next week, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. We'll find out. What am I going to stream? I don't know. It could be an extraction shooter. Could be Hunt Showdown. Could be Hoonie Pop. You never really know. But either way, I'll see y'all guys in the next one. I hope y'all have a blessed day. This is Tau City Network, signing out.